Are you ready to watch the big football game tonight? Yes, big football game. Football. Not this football, of course. Definitely didn't hit anything. But tonight is the Super Bowl. Super Bowl LV. As the Chiefs take on the Buccaneers. And it's quite an interesting Super Bowl, you see, because it's the first ever time that the host stadium, or the team that plays at the stadium that is hosting the Super Bowl, has qualified for the Super Bowl. I've not explained that properly, but what I mean is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Super Bowl is being played at their stadium, but they reached the Super Bowl. And to make it even more interesting, the team they are facing is the winner of last year's Super Bowl LIV, the Kansas City Chiefs. And it creates quite the matchup. And the most intriguing part of that matchup is the clash of the quarterbacks. Because Kansas City Chiefs, they have Patrick Mahomes, 25-year-old quarterback. He is phenomenal. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they, at quarterback, have Tom Brady, 43-year-old, legendary quarterback, arguably greatest of all time in American football. And so it's sort of like LeBron James in his prime facing off against Michael Jordan towards the end of his career. Or for all my English viewers, it's like Erling Haaland up against Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So, however you understand that, it is quite the matchup. Now, you might be wondering, Benjamin, you're English. Why do you care so much about the Super Bowl? Well, you see, it's arguably the biggest annual sporting event in the world. I know you're going to try and tell me about the Champions League final, but no. I personally think the Super Bowl is the bigger occasion for one reason. Well, there's one main reason. Champions League final doesn't have a halftime show, does it? No. In the Champions League final, you just, at halftime, you go into the studio and get analysis by the pundits. So, yeah. Now, of course, we are in the coronavirus pandemic, so Super Bowl will not have a full capacity stadium because obvious reasons. But there are still going to be, I think it's 22,500 fans there, with medical staff amongst those who will be there. So it won't be like the Champions League final was, because of course that was played in Portugal behind closed doors. The other thing too is that I didn't watch last year's Champions League final. It wasn't deliberate that I didn't watch it. It was just an accident that my sleep schedule was incredibly bad at the time. I'm guessing the Champions League final, it started around 8 p.m. I fell asleep just after it started. When I say my sleep schedule was broken, it was, but sleeping at 8 p.m. that night fixed it. And I woke up at around 6 a.m. I reckon. I went to my phone, checked the score, and Bayern Munich had beaten Paris Saint-Germain by 1-0. So it wasn't the most exciting final that I'd missed. Although, judging from the highlights, it was maybe better than the final from the year before, Tottenham against Liverpool. But that one wasn't particularly entertaining either. The year before that, if we go... the same year. If we go back to 2019, that was the year the Super Bowl wasn't very entertaining. It was the Patriots against that team I've forgotten, but it was a very defensive game. I want to say the opposing team played in purple, but I've forgotten, honestly. I think I'll have to check afterwards and see how wrong I may have been. The notable thing for me with the Super Bowl is, as I live in England, the Super Bowl starts at 11:30 at night and finishes around about 3:30 in the morning. Although I do tend to watch a bit of the stuff that goes on afterwards, so maybe that's why. But to add to that, it's on a Sunday night too. It makes the next day in school very interesting. But of course, I'm not in school tomorrow because schools are closed. Fun. Seriously, it's quite annoying, schools being closed. For the Super Bowl, it's maybe a good thing because it means I don't have to worry about only getting like 3 hours sleep before having to go through a full day of school. Mondays are painful enough as they are. Now, you see, another thing is... I have this game. I'll get it closer so you can see. Madden 21. Because I am a fan of American football, actually. Although, I feel like I only ever watched the Super Bowl. Because this will be my third consecutive year watching the Super Bowl. I always feel like every time I've watched it that my interest would kick on, but it just sort of hasn't. Although, I don't know. Will it happen this year? Who knows? I think maybe one thing that doesn't help is there are some rules in American football that I just haven't really looked into or taken the time to understand. Sorry, I just got kind of distracted because I've just seen Sheffield United's equaliser. It was quite the bizarre goal. We're getting sidetracked here. Rudiger just passes the ball back to the keeper, but it goes in his own net. Last things last, I should give a prediction for the Super Bowl. Now, you see, I think that I'm looking at the clash through the eyes of the quarterbacks, or the competition that there will be between the two quarterbacks, Mahomes against Brady, as I discussed earlier. And I think Mahomes is going to get the better of it, because if you look into the stats, or not the stats, but the recent meetings between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs, the Chiefs or Mahomes has come on top in the more recent meetings, and that leads me to believe it will happen again. My prediction is a 24-20 win for the Chiefs. So we'll leave it at that. That was my English hype for the Super Bowl. As always, thank you for watching, stay safe, and I'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.